Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about how healthcare managers plan and develop a healthcare facility. As you can see, this is the top view of a healthcare facility, and the healthcare facility that we're going to focus on here in this video is a home for the aged facility. So as you can see, the letter R is showing us the top view because my name is Dr. Regidor III, and I'm here to share with you what a healthcare manager responsible for in designing, developing, and planning a healthcare facility. So this is a SketchUp software, and I have designed this home for the aged specifically from the entrance up to the end of it so that we can have a further discussion on how healthcare facilities promote safety, well-being, and healthy aging of elderlies in a home healthcare facility like this. So let us see further. And we're going to go to the entrance where this healthcare facility called a home for the aged will start. So this is the entrance, and people who are interested to go and have a visit here, or they would like to purchase one of the rooms, then they have to walk through this glass door. I purposely put it on glass door, and most of these walls are see-through glasses so that everything can be transparently seen. And from end to end, it is more likely see-through. On both sides are parking areas, and we have their own ambulance. Of course, the healthcare facility must have their own ambulance. This is a truck, and this truck is owned by the healthcare facility called the Home for the Aged because it will deliver a lot of clothes that has been washed, laundered, or food supplies, um, more likely for the sustenance of the clients that lives here. And on the other side, which is the ambulance side, uh, the ambulance can go to the back doors of all the rooms of the home for the aged because um, you wouldn't want to go from the inside and scare everybody because not all of the population of the home for the aged will live forever, and some of them will just have to be transported back to the hospital. And if they're just in time for their deathbeds, then they will be transported not for resuscitation, but just for last office. So the ambulance would just go to end of their homes to the backyard, back door of their homes. From here, there's an entrance. There's an exit from the back door all the way to here. There's still a back door exit up to here. And in that way, the ambulance will not have to frighten everybody by carrying some carcasses or bodies that's already been expired for many, many years of being in the nursing home. So the home for the aged um, is showing us that there are a lot of other different styles of home. So I have planned that this area will be more of a suite They have their own laundry, they have their own washing machines, they have their own showers, and they have their own kitchens. And there are only two that are available as a suite, and the master bedroom is where the suite is found. The suite has a good ventilation, good lighting. It has their own kitchen, and it has their own sofa and sala. Particularly, the suite is on the far left corner mirror image so that it is nearby the parking space. And the parking space is found here. It is definitely enough for all the the residents of the home for the agent. So those who will purchase a parking space uh, can have a parking area here, and the parking space is absolutely enough for the entire population. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 parking spaces. And the residents could be 15. So 15 residents. One here at the suite number one, and then there's two, and then there's 10. The not suite has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And therefore, there are 10 residents found on this area. Um, we call this a general housing area. So they have also their washing machines, but they have to share, and their clothes hanger and clothes dryer, they have to share as well. So the general housing can have a population of 10. This is the semi-suite, or you call just regular housing. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's go down further. 6, 7, and 8. So this is the 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. In each of these housings, I've designed a side rail, a handrail for the the entrances so that they can walk all their way to the main lobby, and they can have quality time with each other. This is an open space. So that means there's no roof. And if it's if they're lucky, the sun is shining brightly, then they can have a lot of exercise, they can have a lot of activities in the center space. Um, and also they can have some fun games there. And if they would like to go further into the lobby, then they'll just have to travel with the handrails here. That's why I put handrails in a circular form so that they can walk in a circle and hold the handrails until they reach the center. Okay. Um, Basically, that's an exercise for them. However, there are a lot of other options, such as wheelchair. They have their own wheelchair if they're in a suite or in a semi-suite or just a regular housing. The regular housing has wheelchair, which they need to share the 10 of them has to have a time frame on sharing their wheelchair. Otherwise, they have to buy their own wheelchair. So, um, if they go to the front, they will see the reception here. Now let's go further into the reception. As we go along, and then we enter into the front door. There you go. So it's a sliding door, sliding glass door, just like a hotel. And the first thing that they will see is the receptionist. This is the reception area. And if they are quite um, interested on taking part as residents here in this home for the aged, all they have to do is go to the reception area, and then they'll have to be charged for it. And the reception area will give them a tour of the whole facilities. They can also watch television, and there's a toilet in this area. Okay. So a wheelchair is already available at the reception, so that if they have an emergency, that you know they would slightly get weaker and they need a wheelchair, so the reception will provide them wheelchair if they want to. And here on the right side is also a place to put in some of the accidents that can happen due to fall. And we have stretchers here in this glass room, and the ambulance is nearby the glass room. So stretchers are available, and also wheelchairs. Wheelchair is available here at the glass room. The ambulance is nearby the glass room. And if they have a companion, their companion may sit down in the glass room and wait for them to get stabilized so that the ambulance can bring them for further treatment in the hospital setting. Beside the glass room is a sofa that can be used for sitting down, because in the reception, we might want to give some good comfort for the visitors, and they can have some vending machine snacks while waiting for their turn to get entertained and tour the hospital. So if they would like to go to a toilet, it is also available in the reception area, because um, urination, frequency of urination will always be expected on the elderlies. So this is the toilet, and they can enjoy their nice, comfortable toilet place. And they have toiletries here. If they would like to make themselves more comfortable, they can take a shower, and there is a towel available for them to use for some emergency situations, because you'll never know when you need to get a shower or when you need to use the toilet. So now that we have seen the left wing, the right wing, we're going to go for the left wing of the reception. So when we go to the left wing of the reception, we will see that there is a nurse station here, and so many residents are trying to fall in line because they would like to use the dining room for their guests. Their guests would like to have quality time with them eating in the dining area. And also, they would like to have quality time with them here on the um, sala set or guests receiving area. Therefore, while waiting for them to be cleared by the nurse to go to the guests room receiving area and also the dining area, they can watch television. They can sit down if they wish to sit down. They can choose also to stand if they would like to, and they are given a chair on this area, so they have a choice whether to use it or not. And um, if they would like to get their residents out, this is an exit for them to walk through. They can let their residents walk out and go somewhere else. All they have to do is get clearance from the receptionists at the reception area. And after they get clearance from the reception area, they can bring their guests out to go someplace else instead of getting eating here at the dining area or spending time at the guest receiving area. And these two are giving them clearances as well to get inside the guest receiving area and the dining area. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna fall in line in a queue, and the first thing that they need to do is get clearance of their temperature. So this is a thermometer scanner that will scan them. And some of the residents needs to have medication. So before they get clearance from the reception, they have to be cleared from their daily dosages of medication, such as multivitamins, minerals, supplements, maintenance that is for the heart, or maybe proton pump inhibitors, or maybe antidepressants, um, maybe monoamine oxidase inhibitors, or maybe for Parkinson's disease, dopamines, and all those maintenance, they have to be cleared by their nurse. And this is a nurse station where they put all the medication here at the medication trolley because before eating, some of the residences, the elderlies are the residents, and some of them would need maintenance doses or pre-meal doses, just anti-diabetic drugs. Before eating, they get that, and before they are cleared, they have to go through some tests, such as the visitors. When I'm talking about clearance and talking about the visitors, before they get cleared by joining their residence to the dining area and the guest receiving area, they have to have a physical examination here. And some specimens must be taken, such as saliva for rapid test kits, RTKs, and for COVID-19 clearances, although it has been defeated. However, it's still recommended. And if they are being suspected of having cough or flu, they're given masks here. The masks are available here. So the residents will take cups and their medicines and get water from the nurse station here and drink their medications. And this is a treatment room. As you can see, the treatment room is not enclosed in an enclosed place. I don't want treatment rooms to be in an enclosed place so that air ventilation uh can be available, because the elderlies have weak immune systems, and if too much enclosed spaces, it can culture microorganisms. However, they are having a curtain for privacy. So if we're gonna go further in the treatment area, we're gonna see some cabinets here that are available for replenishments and also the supplies. If the home for the elderlies have a lot of falls, then fracture may occur. And this is where they put in their um, plaster of Paris, the plasters for casting. So there is a lighting here, and there's a medication trolleys, and this cabinet has a lot of supplies inside for replenishments of um, the supplies of the treatment room. So if there are so many wet wet mm, floors, I also put a mop here in order for the nurse to clean the place because wet can culture microorganisms as well. And if the home for the elderly is full of wet places, bacteria can culture. So having this treatment room for the home for the elderlies will be a good way in order for them to get themselves treated. Castings, wound treatments, wound therapies, and and the likes of it. So replenishing the treatment room is also important, and that's why I have also put some cabinets here where supplies can be replenished. So although the nurse will just have to go to the cabinets and replenish the towels, change the towels. Maybe you need towels because uh, getting their wound care or casting them for um or fractures would require washing. So a lot of supplies can be found here in this cabinet. This is a water refill stock for the water at the nurse station, so that um, a continuous drinking for the elderlies in order for them to be hydrated. And and if they get cleared, especially the relatives or the visitors get cleared from physical examination, they can now walk through the entrance of the dining room where they can celebrate their birthdays. They can have um, communications or communes. They can commune with each other here inside the dining area. They just have to walk through here. Okay, this is the dining area. And as you can see, there's a side rail here so that the elderly won't fall down if they walk um, through this dining area. This is the floor plan of the whole place. So if the dining area, because fire in the kitchen may occur accidentally, so they have to know the floor plan of the building where the other exits that they can go to. So there are a lot of exits that they can use in order for them to escape the fire. There's also a CCTV here, as you can see on the side, so that it can see what's happening all over, and it is recorded at the nurse's station. And if we're gonna go to the nurse's station again, I will show you that the monitor here is recording everything that is happening, all the CCTVs that has been captured will be recorded at the monitor at the nurse's station. So this is the monitor. And all these um, activities will be reported and recorded, and it will be used for further improvement of the facilities. There are a lot of files in the nurses station for the treatment programs of the elderlies. So this is the nurses station with a lot of files. And also, this is a filing system of their records, the record books of the patients, and we call them residents. So it is kept here, and this is a rotating cupboard, so it can rotate. This is a first aid kit, and some of the residents might need first aids. And this is an emergency trolley. So the emergency trolley has the oxygen apparatus for if they have asthma, if somebody suddenly had a heart failure, an AED is available, and the other IV tubings are also available on the crash cart. So this is the treatment tray if it is needed for injections such as allergic reactions of food that they ate when they're dining. And that's about it for the nurse station. So we're gonna go forward to the dining area, and we'll see that the dining area has a hand sanitation sink. This sink is not just for hands, but for them to wash their plates and wash their utensils, because some of the elderlies are very sentimental with their utensils, like the mugs that they use, like the best grandfather in the world or the best dad in the world coming from their visitors or coming from their grandchildren or children. And if that is so, then all they have to do is use it over and over again, but they have to wash it on their own. And there are a lot of towels here. Towels are also available in this cupboard where they can be replaced, replenished, and just open the cupboard and replenish all the towels that has been used. And so if um, it becomes wet or dirty, this kitchen is always prone to dirt. All they have to do is mop it and make sanitation of the environment always available. And they can also throw their trash here. It's divided into color codes: green, red, blue, black, recyclables, and biodegradables. And it has to be environmental friendly. The only place where the mat is found is in the sink, because if water spills, it has to be dried up immediately. Otherwise, fall may occur. And the entire dining area is made of tiles, because if food falls down, it will be very smelly if it's carpeted. So it has to be tiled. And I do not like so much culturing of microorganisms in the dining area. Flies can also come inside if it's dirty, because the food that falls on the carpet may end up um, not getting cleaned up very well. So it has to be tiled. Some of the elderlies have Parkinson's. The residents may have Parkinson's, and that means tremors may occur. If they are trembling while they are eating, food can just fly everywhere. And carpeted dining area is not a very recommended plan floor plan. So this guy will be assisting in handling foods, especially in the dining area. And also, uh, he will be carrying the elderlies who cannot walk too much into the dining area. And if they need more assistance, then they will have to have their own helpers to bring them over into the dining area. And if we're gonna walk through this place, this is further into the kitchen where drinking station is found. There's a paper cup here. On top of the refrigerator is an AED because you'll never know in the dining area something might happen again. On top of this refrigerator as well are the masks, face mask. And this refrigerator is for the elderly's personal medications or some food that they would like to have refrigerated for a very long time. Um, the main power switch are found here because it's in close place. I don't want elderlies getting curious about switches, and I don't want them to touch all these switches. So it has to be inside this place where the helper would get them prepared for dining. And if we're gonna look at this place, it has preparatory equipment, so the elderlies can have a good dining area. And let's see further onto this place. Let's rotate. Okay. So this place is where the elderlies will get all their equipments for eating. And as you can see, these are all paper uh plates and paper bowls and papers as plastic spoons, plastic forks, and plastic chopsticks. So promoting safety is so important because glasswares can break and it can damage or it can hurt them. And we do not like the elderly or the residents getting hurt. After they have done, they just throw out their plastics and also their paper cups here or in the recyclable bin. There's also a dustbin for them to throw away. So it's not going to be difficult. As you can see, on top here is an air conditioning, and beside the air conditioning are ventilators because foods can be smelly. And also, if the air conditioning is old, it will culture fungus, and we don't like getting lung infections for the elderlies. So each and every air conditioning here are counterpart with an exhaust fan. Here you can see the side rails so that the elderlies will not have a problem with holding the table. They just hold the side rails here, the rails here, while they're walking their way. Also, we have a CCTV that is found here so that it can capture what's happening, specifically capturing the chef, what he is doing. So, not to say that the chef is doing something bad, but it is good that it is all captured in a CCTV. So, the chef cooks here, right? This is where the chef cooks. and the video will capture what is happening there, so that it has evidences that there's nothing funny happening. And if they would like to have an order, because food is prepared and visitors are not included on the preparation of the dining. If they would like to have a special request of meals, then they will have to order from the reception one day before, so that it will be fair for the chef to prepare them for the dining as well. As you can see, there's a lot of air condition here, and as a counterpart of the air condition is an exhaust, where the exhaust must take away all those nasty things that circulates above. On this side, it is open so that they can have communication with the chef, whether they would like to see what chef is doing, or the chef would like to ask them questions. It's open here. And the lighting is different. It's not like the nurse's station lighting that is so bright. These lightings are subtle and dim, so that it will not irritate the eyes of the elderly. Because when you grow older, and uh, there will be a lot of problems with the eyesight. Unlike on the nurse's station, this lighting is very bright. And also, um, there is a spotlight here on the treatment ward, because lighting on treatments are so important. That's why it has to be bright as it can be. So in the dining area, it is not so bright. And besides, it needs to be romantic a little bit. That's why it has to be dim, so that they can enjoy the company of each other night wet better. And as you can see, the air condition at the nurse's station has only a few ventilators, but on the dining area there's more ventilator here, so that it will not be so smelly, and it won't circulate throughout the place. This wall is glass see-through, so that they can see what's happening in the guest receiving area. Maybe one of their guests has suddenly arrived late, and they have already began eating, and that's why it's see-through. The glass door is can be available to be seen by the residents. And also, this place at the kitchen, um, the chef has his own personal trash bins and personal mop and personal cleaner, a vacuum cleaner, because everything that has been used here must be cleaned again. And the chef has his own refrigerator as well, because some food needs to be stored in a very long time in a refrigeration freezer, a big freezer. And also leftovers from the food that has been that can still be used for eating can still be placed on the refrigeration. And beside this, there's also an emergency hose, so that fire, because kitchen deals with fire, so the fire will not spread throughout the nursing home. And also there's an a fire extinguisher here. Exhausts are found on these parts, and these are exhaust fans. Lightings are also here. It's really bright lighting. If you're gonna see it from above, It's quite hard to see. There's a lighting here. Okay. But there, the lighting and the exhaust. So that the chef can do his job properly with the proper ventilation and proper lighting. And after the chef has done his job, his work, um, this is the place to wash the dishes. So you have to be super fast and super hardworking when you're doing the dishwashing. That's why Superman should be there. Uh, and they can also have their own meal here. And if they don't want to join the elderlies from eating, they can microwave food. The chef and Superman and the helpers can have their own meals inside the kitchen because they have a table in the kitchen. And um, there's also an automatic dishwasher on this side so that a faster way of doing things can help the chef with all the utensils that he needs more for more preparations of food. And therefore, all these utensils must be cleaned thoroughly and in a fast way. These are the automatic dishwasher. As you can see, Superman, all he needs to do is wash the dishes in an automatic dishwasher if it's tired of washing it the hard way. They're not papers, they're not paper-borne. Only the residents and the elderlies will use the paper cups, paper plates, and plastic spoons and fork and chopsticks and whatever they like to use. And that is the end of the kitchen. So they can walk through here. Both the chef and all the guests, and all the elderlies or the residents can walk through here because it's open space. Although they just have to wipe their feet here on the mat so that it will not be dirty, and they have to wash themselves first on the sink and throw their rubbish and sweep the floor. The sweeper will be the helper here. He will be sweeping the floor, and it is available for the kitchen and the dining set, the dining area. So, let's try to go to the guests receiving area. As you can see, this is a cupboard where there are a lot of books that can be read. Also, the cupboard contains games, and these are the pastimes of the elderly's board games. They like board games, and the board games can be played here on the guest receiving area. And if they are a lot of receiving areas, all they have to do is book it one by one, and they just have to take turns. So it is very important to take turns. The rocking chair will not be missed for a home for the aged because that is the most famous apparatus of the elderly, the rocking chair. And they can also have a good nap here if they are tired. And in this area, uh, they can just segregate themselves from the rest and take a sweet nap while everyone is playing board games. Everyone is gossiping with each other, trying to commune and get along and get in touch with each other, and trying to be friendly with each other. And so that's why uh, this guest receiving area was created. There's also a vacuum cleaner for the carpet of the guest receiving area. The guest receiving area only has one plug, and I do not like so much plugs. This plug is only intended for the vacuum cleaner. I I do not like the elderlies getting electrocuted. That's why the plug is only limited to only a few axes. And as you can see, this is a glass door. It's a sliding door. And from the outside, if it is raining, they can use umbrellas to go back to their residences. And they have to make sure that their feet are dry when they enter, because outdoor, it's very dirty outdoor. And so if they're gonna go through this glass door from the outside, they have to make sure that their feet is dry and clean so that the carpet will not be dirty. If the carpet gets dirty, all they have to do is vacuum clean it, and they can be returned back, replaced. The carpet can be replaced and washed in the laundry by the truck. The truck is bringing the laundry and all the food supplies and all the necessary supplies. As they go past by here, the glass door, they're gonna go through their residences. It's made up of 20 rooms, good for 20 residences. And it is not so big, but it's also not small. This is where they can feel that, oh, I don't belong to the home for the aged. I have my own house here. I'm like a resident of my own. Because so many elderlies do not want to go to the home for the aged because they feel like it's a hospital with a house. So if I'm gonna design something, I want it to be a unique way of inviting the residences, and that is how I want it built. So um this is the famous sharing room, sharing common general room for the home for the aged, for the residences. And they have their own beds, and some of them may have to have sharing of the room itself. So they also need to share their washing machines. They have to take turns. Even their hangers where they hang their clothes, they have to share it. The wheelchair has to be shared as well. Although if they are um quite aging and not so strong enough, we'll provide them more wheelchairs as well for their own personal use. And this is the general room where 5 people who just simply wants to have a good night rest can share one room. And those who will be having a lot of personal private things will have their own private rooms here. And the suite is the more expensive one. So they have their own sofa, they have their own salad, they have their own um, television, they have their own bedroom, they have their own washing machines, and they can dry their own clothes here. The smaller one is not so small, enough for them to sleep, enough for them to have a good night rest. They have their own bathrooms as well. In this general room, they have their own bathroom as well, but it's just just for urination and defecation, and it's not for showering. So what they need to do when they want to shower, of course they can shower here, but they have to get their own pails and their own buckets, and they just have to do it the hard way because it's a common room. And it's not so big, but it's not so small. This is good enough. This is good. This is great. And it can be done. What they need to do can be done. Okay, so if they wanted to have an exercise of their own, there are rails here circling around so that they can have their own time to exercise. And if they walk inside, all they have to do is clean their shoes in the mat when they go inside the guests receiving room. If they have a guest, then they have to go to the mat. And if they want to have a good shower, the 5 people, the ten residences, they can still use the general toilet found here at the reception area, because it is not forbidden for them to use it though, because it's a nice place and it's a nice toilet as well here at the reception area. So they can use this. It's not a problem. All they have to do is make it clean. It's also properly ventilated, so it doesn't smell bad after they use it for the other guests who are coming in the home for the aged, because there's ventilation here. And that is how uh, a healthcare manager would plan their healthcare facilities. And even though it has a limited detail based on how to construct it, at least it has the idea and it has the plan for a good healthcare facility. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the Home for the Aged that has the R signature of my name. So once again, my name is Dr. Regidor III, and thank you all for staying and watching this video. And I hope you get to learn a lot on this section. So thank you and bye, everyone.